In this video, we are going to find your ideal online business model based on your profile lines. If you're new here, my name is Amanda. I help new and aspiring online coaches sell their advice online using one single streamlined platform, but without getting bogged down by all the complex tech, because this is supposed to be fun, okay? And if you guys want to figure out how to find your online persona using human design, I have a whole free mini course on this. It is inside my free school, Fire Your Boss Free. So let's get into it. Okay, so first let's start with line 1. You are the researcher. You like to go deep. You want to get into the details. So you want to find a business and find something for yourself that allows you to go all the way into the nitty-gritty, deepest depths of this niche, of this topic that you're interested in. Details, you get overwhelmed by putting into action without the details. You want to know, you want to get to the bottom of things. You want to get to the very, very bottom and then allow yourself to have that solid foundation where you feel really good and confident showing up and sharing that with the world. Questions you want to ask yourself are, am I allowing myself to geek out on the details? You're really good at seeing through the things that other people are trying to show you to cover up their fear. You see through it. That's a huge asset, okay? Line 2, you guys are my introverts. You rely on other people to feel out your gifts. My dad is a line 2, and I can definitely say that this is true. You're here to give people an aha moment and help them get out of their own heads. You get burned out by spending too much time with others. You need cycles of on time and off time. You need both. You want to be out and with the world, but you need a good amount of time to bring it back to yourself and come back to you. Something to watch out for is to not let your desire for alone time keep you from building those connections. They're both important. It's said in the definitive book of human design, while the first lines investigate in order to build a foundation, second lines are naturals who don't know where their innate gifts originate from. Second lines are noticed for their natural talents or genius and are then called out by others who want their gifts to be used in a particular way. These are hermits, however, that want only to be left alone to do their thing their own way. That is my dad in a nutshell, I gotta say. You're going to get burned out by people trying to get you to explain your process. You don't know where the process comes from. So it's just your process. So for your online coaching business model, you want to look at something where it's like you can just do you and turn on Zoom. Like turn on Zoom and just do your thing and let people observe you. They're going to learn so much just by observing the way that you do things. You don't have to explain your process to anybody. You want to ask yourself, am I giving myself enough time alone to nourish my soul? You do need the time alone, but you don't want to disappear into yourself. All right, line 3s. You guys are my experimenters. You need to be able to experiment and share it with your clients. You're here to help others based on what has worked for you. There is a lot of trial and error. I know this because I'm an unconscious line 6, which operates as a line 3 for most of its life, and it's rough. It can be rough being a line 3. I'm not gonna lie. Your business model needs to give you the freedom to go your own way and experiment. That's a crucial part of your process. So for you, in terms of an online coaching business model, you need time to hone in your process before you start building out and evergreening everything. It's going to be really hard for you, and it's not going to make sense to go in and build this whole evergreen course until you're really sure on this system from your own personal experience. And honor your need, the call to break bonds with clients if it's no longer serving you. You don't have to continue to pour into clients if it's not serving you anymore. So if you feel that, then let it go. You're going to be made crazy by people asking you to map out all of the details and then people who judge you for trying too many things. This is the one thing that human design has given me, I think, more than anything, is the freedom and the vocabulary and the validation to just be myself and honor my strengths without trying to be like everybody else. You don't need to be like anybody else. That's your gift. That's your gift. So you want to ask yourself, does my business model give me the freedom to try things out and help others see options so they can discern what is right for them? You're not ideal for someone who wants a one-size-fits-all approach. You're very targeted and specific. You can help people pivot. You can help them see new things based on your own experience. All right, let's go to line 4s, the mayor with the megaphone. That's me. That's why I love it. So you want to ask yourself, Does my business model give me the freedom to take in and amplify information that matters? Line 4 is it's going to be really, really hard for us to sell to cold contacts. You're here to nurture, to build community, to foster connections, and you really need and desire this solid foundation. And when that foundation is at risk of being removed, it can be really, really scary. So yes, honor your need for stability, but don't try to control the outcome of everything. Life changes, things change. That's okay. You have a solid foundation. You're here to help bring people together. You're not here to create a whole new system or to reinvent the wheel. This was huge for me. You're here to find systems, information, processes that work and share them with your tribe. And that has been so true for me. So I found this coach online last year that teaches you how to sell your advice online, and I was drawn to him because he had this whole system. He had it out on a whiteboard. He was like, you take people from social media, put them into your community, to your free school, and then your paid school, and he had it all diagrammed out, and I was like, I like that. So that's an example. Like, I found a system that was already working, and then I just started implementing that. Then I decided to it was working. I really liked it, but I felt like it was missing my whole, woo-woo side that gives people the awareness and confidence to be themselves and make aligned decisions. So that's why I decided to pull in human design with online coaching business, because those are my two passions. And so that's an example of finding systems that work, systems that aligned with me, and pulling them together to share with my tribe. So that's going to be great for a line 4. You also do really well with affiliates, referral relationships, anything where you're not being required to build it all out yourself. We don't want to do that. Line 4s are also very friendly, and the quality of our life depends on the quality of our relationships. You pour into people a lot, so you want to make sure that the relationships that you're nurturing are also pouring into you. You don't need to be friends with everybody. Create your own community. That's why I think line 4s do so well with Skool and community, because it's just our thing. I can't help it. We're like meant to be the best friend, the guide, guiding people down this path, this system that we have found to work for us. So questions for a line 4 is, what systems, processes, philosophies can I line up with and utilize and create agreements with so I don't have to reinvent the wheel? You're going to be made crazy by people who flip-flop and change their mind a lot. I can vouch for that. All right. Line 5, you are the disruptor. You challenge the business model and show us a new way. That's your role. You call in people who are in need of disruption, who are in crisis, and who need a different perspective, a shift in perspective to solve their own problems in a practical manner. So you come in when everything else has failed and show them a solution. One thing that's going to be really big for you are boundaries of what you will and will not do for your clients and what problems you do fix. You don't need to be there to fix everything. It's a targeted and specific situation. You lead by actually leading. You are a visionary and you elevate everyone around you. Honor your need for disruption. You don't need to be like everybody else. You're going to be made crazy by people who ask you for help and it's something that you're not aligned with or interested in. So if you're not, listen to that. You're like, no, I'm here to help you with your email automations. Like, if you want something else, like, there's somebody else down the street. One thing to be careful of as a line 5, and I think this is similar to projectors, is that people who are not ready for change are going to want to burn you at the stake. So you're going to want to make sure when you enter into a relationship with a client that these people are ready and willing to receive and honor what you have to offer. Because if they're not, they're going to want to burn you at the stake for like changing the whole game on them. Ask yourself if I am clearly communicating what I have to offer here and giving myself the space to do it. All right, now line 6 is you need freedom to come in and out of the roof. In human design, they give you the house analogy. So you're the role model. You're here to provide unbiased advice on a particular situation. You also lead by leading and you lead by observing. You're more the leader behind the leader. You're from the sidelines. You don't really want to be out in front of everyone. And this makes a lot of sense for my school days, because I was always wondering, I mean, I feel like I have natural leadership qualities, okay? And whenever we would be put into a group, it was like, I was never in charge. And I like wanted to be in charge, but I was never called to be in charge. And now it kind of makes sense that I'm a 4-6. I just thought about that. I think that's interesting. So you also elevate those that they support and help them to be their most embodied, authentic self. People just naturally come to you for advice. One thing to be aware of as a line 6 is that you're going to go through a lot of trial and error, because from 0 to 30 to the age of your first Saturn return, you're going to have a lot of trial and error. A lot of things are going to go wrong. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of challenges, and it's going to be like, why is this all happening to me? But it's all for a purpose, because from 30 to about age 50, you're getting in the first floor of the house or the second floor. You're putting in and integrating all of the things that you've learned. All of those mistakes you've made have given you the wisdom now to actually understand why things happen the way they do and what you can actually do about them to be your most embodied, authentic self. So, and then from age about 50 and on, you're on the roof. So now you have this really big picture perspective where people just naturally flock to you for advice when they're struggling with something. But you're not here to help everyone either, and you want to make sure that those people are ready to receive what it is you have to offer. You do not want to get bogged down in all the nitty-gritty details, and you're going to be made crazy by people who want you to do that. So you don't have to do that. You don't got to do it. Okay, just don't do it. Let's see. Your knowing is just inherent because you've gone through so much. You've learned so much that you just know. You just know. Sometimes there's just things that you know, and some people are ready to hear it and some people are not. And that's okay. So you want to ask yourself, if my business gives me the freedom and space to gain that perspective, and am I clearly communicating my values to attract leaders into my world who I can be of guidance for? So are you letting people know that you have something to offer? How are you showing up online on social media and talking about the things that the leaders and the people that you want to influence care about? They're going to naturally come to you. They're going to naturally be drawn to you when you show up and speak from that place of how you know without knowing. And you are here to give unbiased advice. You're not here to like tell people all about themselves from your own opinion. Be true to that voice inside that already knows. That's the voice you're here to share. One more thing about line 6s is like, they don't want to be pulled down into the muck. Have you ever seen a bunch of crabs in a bucket and they're trying to get out, and like one crab gets up here and the other crab brings it down? You don't want to get involved in all of that. And you don't need to. You're above the fray, okay? Or beyond the fray. You don't need to get all down there in the nitty-gritty details. You know. And you don't want to help everybody. You have certain gifts, talents, insights, and you know who those are for. So I hope this helped. I hope this gave you some insight into how to find your ideal online coaching business model using your profile, your personality profile lines. I actually made a whole free mini course on this. It's inside Fire Your Boss Free, how to find your online persona using human design. I even have ChatGPT prompts in there, and it's all free. So let me know in the comments, what is your personality? What is your profile line? Like, I'm a 4-6. And let me know what was one insight you had from watching this that you can apply in your business. I hope that by you doing that, other people are going to see the comments and learn how they can apply it in their business as well. Mwah!